Hello, my name is Rajiv Mallisetty, and in this video brought to you by ZhongZe Films, I will describe the relationship between the Tunisian and Mexican revolutions and the societal importance of the Mexican Revolution on modern-day Mexico. The Tunisian Revolution began on December 17, 2010, with the tragic suicide of Mohamed Boazizi. Boazizi was a Tunisian street vendor who tirelessly sold fruits and vegetables to pay back his debts. However, police constantly demanded bribes from him, threatening to shut down his business if he didn't cooperate. Boazizi tried to complain, but the government refused to talk to him, failing to give Boazizi a say in his own government. These incidents pushed him over the edge, leading to him setting himself on fire outside a governmental building. Boazizi's death would cause other citizens to relate to his dislike for the government, sparking a revolution against Tunisia's autocracy, which is a form of government where one ruler has all the power, such as a dictatorship. However, what makes the Tunisian Revolution unique is its use of cell phones and social media to spread revolutionary ideas and protests much faster than previously possible. This was compounded by the fact that young people around Boazizi's age, many of whom use social media, related the best to Boazizi's death. Despite the Tunisian Revolution happening nearly a century later and halfway across the world from the Mexican Revolution, there are many similarities between the two. Before the revolutions, there was a period of time when the Tunisian and Mexican economies were prosperous. In Mexico, during the late 19th century, under Diaz's rule, the middle class was becoming more and more prosperous. But when the economies of Tunisia and Mexico eventually worsened and the government corruption was revealed, the working class suffered from worsening economic conditions and growing social and economic inequality. The goal of both revolutions was to establish a democratic government to create a better economic condition and a government that represented the people. Despite similar goals of the revolutions to replace a dictatorship with a democratic government, the Tunisian Revolution and Mexican Revolution differed in how they have spread their influence, and they also had different outcomes. Tunisian revolutionaries greatly relied on social media to spread Tunisian revolutionary ideas, with almost everyone having cell phones or access to social media. This technology wasn't available during the Mexican Revolution. Right now, many of us take social media and the internet for granted, but in 2010, that wasn't the case. Social media avoids government censorship by giving anyone a platform to voice their opinion to anyone in the world. In fact, within months, the Tunisian Revolution spread to other countries in North Africa and the Middle East, creating the Arab Spring, which is a massive multinational movement against governments. A revolution of that scale, spreading so fast, would have been impossible without social media and cell phones.
The outcomes of the Tunisian and Mexican revolutions were also very different. The Mexican Revolution lasted for around a decade before a stable democratic government was established in 1917. However, in Tunisia, the government quickly transformed into a democracy in 2014 after only 3 years of conflict, though it is a democracy with many issues. The Mexican government was much more stable than the Tunisian government. However, it took longer for a democratic government to establish in Mexico, as there were different factions of the revolutionaries that greatly disagreed on social and political issues. Conservative-leaning revolutionaries advocated for only political reforms, while more progressive revolutionaries advocated for social reform. In fact, after more than 100 years, the Mexican Constitution of 1917 is still used today, and its ideas have paved the way for economic and social equality in modern-day democratic Mexico. Unfortunately, unlike Mexico, Tunisia hasn't reached the goal of economic prosperity and government stability. Since the revolution, Tunisia's economy has significantly worsened with growing negative feelings towards the new democracy. But maybe, similar to the Mexican Revolution, real change will happen with enough time. The Mexican Revolution was not one event that immediately transformed Mexico. Rather, it was a series of political transformations from 1910 to 1934 that shaped Mexican politics and society forever.
Hello, my name is Rajiv Mallisetty, and in this video brought to you by ZhongZe Films. Damn!